Hi 17, it's Jaleesa here. So I wanted to recreate my take on a old Hollywood glam look with a modern twist. So I did my makeup and my hair, and if you guys want to know how to get this look, then just keep on watching. So my skin has already been moisturized, so it's time to prime. It's really important to prime your skin because you want to make sure that your foundation and your makeup lasts all night long. So I'm using the Lancome Le Base Pro, and this is an oil-free perfecting primer. So I'm just going to smooth some of that on. This just creates like the perfect canvas for your makeup. So for foundation, I'm using the Nars Sheer Glow. This is in Syracuse medium/dark 1. And I just love this foundation because it really creates a really nice glow to the skin, and it just evens out the complexion. So I'm just taking a buffing brush to buff it into the skin and working in really thin layers and just building up where I need more coverage. So for under the eyes, I'm taking a concealer, also from Nars. This is the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and it's in Ginger. And I try to choose a concealer that's about 1 to 2 shades lighter than my complexion for highlighting purposes. It just helps to brighten up the center of the face and create more dimension. And then I like to apply a little bit of that underneath the cheekbone just to do a little bit of reverse contouring. And then I'm going to take a damp Beauty Blender sponge just to blend that in. And make sure to get into the inner corner where we tend to get a lot of darkness. So to set the under eyes and prevent any creasing, I'm going to go ahead and set it with the Mercier. This is the translucent setting powder. I love that it doesn't create any flashback when you're taking photos, and it helps to prevent creasing under the eye. I'm just going to pack that on, and then I'm going to wipe it away with the brush. So to set the rest of the face, I'm going to use a Nars pressed powder. This is in the shade Mountain, and I like that it just smooths everything out and creates a really nice even canvas. And don't be afraid to take it down the neck as well. So to bronze my skin, I'm using the Kaepop from Colurpop. This is in the shade Bronze Me, and I think it's just a really nice bronzer shade for a lot of different skin tones. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush and buff that in. And you can also take a little bit of that right along the jawline to slim. I'm also going to take a little bit of that right down the sides of my nose to create a little bit more dimension. So to highlight the skin, which is really big right now, I'm going to use a little bit of the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish, and this is in Soft and Gentle. And I'm just going to dust that on top of my cheekbones and anywhere I want a little bit of extra glow. So I'm gonna do blush last, only because I like to do the rest of my face and then see how strong in intensity I can go with the blush. So I'm gonna move on to eyes. So to start with the eyes, I'm gonna do my brows, because that is pretty much your entire face. So I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm gonna mix between this shade here and the black shade to fill in my brows very lightly, and with just a standard angled brush. I'm just gonna comb them up to see the shape of my brows first, and then I'm gonna start at the arch just to fill them in. And then when I have a little bit of product left on the brush, I can fill in the inner portion of the brow. That way it's not too strong. And then right in the arch area and then in the tail is where I like to add a little bit of the black. And then to clean up under the brows, I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer and a flat brush and just shape underneath. So now that my brows are in place, I can move on to the eyeshadow. So I'm using, this is well loved, but this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I like it because it helps to prevent any eyeshadow creasing, especially if you have oily lids, and it just makes your eyeshadows look that much more vibrant and opaque. So I'm just smoothing that on, and then I'm just going to use my finger to blend that in. So for eyeshadow, I'm dipping right back into my Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, and I'm going to take this sort of peachy shade to apply all over the lid, and this is going to be my base color. I'm just patting that all over the lid. If you have a lighter skin tone than I do, then you might want to try for something like this as your all over base shade. So to define the crease, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this shade right here. It's slightly deeper than my skin tone, but not too dramatic. And I'm just buffing that in with a fluffy blending brush, going in circular motions. And I wanna concentrate most of the intensity in the outer corner. So to create a little bit more intensity, I'm going to take a little bit of the shade right next to it and mix it with the warm brick color just to give a little bit of warmth to the eye. And then I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush just to blend that out. So that way there's no harsh lines. So I'm taking this shade right here and mixing a little bit of that with this lighter cream color. And I'm using those colors to basically highlight and accentuate the brow bone. And then I'm taking the same combination with a flat stiff brush for the inner corner as well. You can be pretty generous with this. It just helps to brighten up the eye. And it looks really great in photos. Now that I have my eyeshadow in place and I have as much dimension as I want, I can move on to my winged liner. So I'm taking the Kat Von D, and this is the tattoo liner in black. Now, if you're adventurous and you're fun, use a colored liner. I think that looks awesome, but I'm gonna go with classic black for today. So to start with my liner, I'm going to just thinly line the top of my lash line, going as close into the root of the lashes as I possibly can. Not worrying about precision right now. And then as you move into the inner corner, get as thin as you possibly can. I love this liner because it has the finest tip like possible, and you can get really thin lines. And it might be easier to work in small strokes. So instead of going one swoop like that, just go along in baby strokes. And then once you have a line all across the lid, then you can start to drag out your wings. So following the bottom lash line and using that as a guide, I'm gonna draw a small line going straight out. And then almost from the tip of that line, I'm gonna draw all the way back in. And then once you have that shape, just fill it in. Now that we have our winged liner done, I'm gonna go ahead and tight line. And I'm using the Lancome. This is the Drama Liquid Pencil in Noir Intense. And I love to tight line, which means basically just getting the underflesh of the eye. It looks really great in photos because it makes your liner look that much more black, and it just makes the look more finished. So I'm taking a little bit of that and going right into the fleshy part of the upper eyelid. So now that I have my liner in place, I can move on to mascara. So I'm using one of my all-time faves, and this is the Benefit Theyre Real Mascara. And I just love that it really does separate and volumizes and defines and does everything that you need your lashes to do. So I'm applying falsies as well. So I'm gonna do 1 to 2 thin coats, but if you're not applying falsies, pack it on. Pack it on. So for falsies today, I'm wearing the Makeup Forever number 404s, and I love how they're flared out at the end, so it just helps to elongate the eye and accentuate that cat shape that we're going for. So to apply the lashes, I'll be using the Duo Lash Glue, and this is in the dark tone, and I love this one because it just dries black and it's perfect. So you just want to apply the glue very thinly along the seam of the lash. And then just wait about 20 seconds for it to become tacky. I find that if you apply the lash while the glue is still pretty wet, it's just gonna slide around, create a mess, and it's gonna be more of a hassle for you. And when the glue is mostly dry, I just like to use a tweezer to pinch between my real lash and the falsies to blend them together. Another quick trick that I like to do is just add a little bit of liquid liner to the top of the lash seam, so that way it just blends right in with the liner. So now that I have my falsies in place, I know exactly what I want to tweak with the eyes, if I want to add anything, and I want just a little bit of a pop of something shimmery on the inner corner. So I'm using the Bobbi Brown. This is the Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in Sunlight Gold. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that right into the inner corner. So for the bottom waterline, I'm just gonna add a little bit of this shimmery pencil. This is the Lancome Drama Liquid Pencil in Lame. And I'm just taking that right in the bottom waterline. This is just gonna help to make the eyes appear larger and brighter. So for lips, I am going to prime them first, so that way the lipstick lasts that much longer. This is the Colurpop Lippy Sticks Primer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cover my lips in that. It's also great if you're wearing a matte lipstick, so that way it doesn't cling to any of your dry patches. And then for lipstick, I am wearing one of my favorites. This is the Nars Cruella, and this is a pencil. It's a velvet lip pencil. I love that I can outline my lips and then fill it in. And it's small, and you can just throw it in your clutch for retouching, so it's perfect. And if you make any mistakes, just take a little bit of concealer and a flat brush, and then just smooth right along the mistake. And then just to add a little bit of extra drama, I'm taking MAC Diva, and it's a little bit deeper, and I'm applying that to the inner corners of the mouth to make the lips look a little bit more voluminous. So now that all of my makeup is in place, I can see exactly how much blush I'm allowed to put on. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the Kaepop Flushed Blush and a really fluffy brush, and I'm just applying a little bit of that to the apples of my cheeks. So I'm using the Makeup Forever. This is the Mist and Fix, and I love it because literally your makeup will not budge. And then I just like to take a little bit, I like to take like a clean brush just to press the misting powder in to place. And it just melts all your makeup together. So keeping up with the old Hollywood glam, it is time to style the hair. So I am gonna part my hair to the side. That way I can get a really good sort of swoop going on. And then before I curl my hair, it's always important to use a little bit of a heat protectant. So I'm taking this one from Fantasia. This is the Heat Protector Straightening Spray. And I'm just gonna apply a small amount of that just to protect my hair from the heat. And then it's time to curl our hair. So I'm taking this T3 curling wand. It's 1 1/4 inch. And I have it on the second highest heat setting, but you can change it depending on your hair type. So I'm gonna start actually right here in the bang area first. So I'm taking this big chunk and then I'm going to curl the hair towards my face, so curling under. My hair curls pretty quickly, so I think about 5 seconds is good for me. And then I'm just gonna continue all around my head, pretty much going in the same direction. So just curling towards my face. So it's important to leave your hair as is while it's cooling down, so that way it'll hold its curl a lot longer. And then when we get to the other side of the face, then we're gonna go ahead and curl backwards. When all of your hair is cooled down, you want to use a little bit of a hairspray before you start to manipulate it. So I'm taking my favorite hairspray at the moment, and this is the Way Hair Care Texturizing Hairspray. It's awesome, it gives you a little bit of texture, and it also sets your style into place. I'm just going to start to comb this side of my hair behind my ear. You need a bobby pin to secure it. You take one. And then I'm just gonna start to comb the curls so we got one massive curl. I'm gonna take a little bit of a smoothing pomade. This is the Cream of Nature with argan oil. It's really great for molding your hair. So just taking a small amount of it and just applying that to this side of the hair so that it lays really nice and flat and sleek. So to push my hair backwards and create that really nice sort of S, I'm gonna take the curling iron on the lowest setting, and I'm just gonna push my hair backwards and then just apply really light pressure. And that's gonna help to create that really nice uplifted sort of root look. And that is it. This is my modern take on an old Hollywood glam look. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to follow and subscribe 17 Magazine. I'll leave all of my information down in the description box so you can follow me and tag me in all of your recreations. Until next time.